All right, this is the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our Clash of the Champions review series. This is going to be WCW Clash of the Champions 13. Was it Thanksgiving Thunder, right?
Yes, sir.
My host Mike, let's go.
I'm Frank. Let's go. This was the setup clash for Starrcade, which will be taking place on December 16th, 1990, with that god awful tournament and the final reveal of the Black Scorpion. And if anybody has been
Jesus.
following this is the worst black magic garbage I've ever seen in my life.
The Black Scorpion. You know that was Ole Anderson doing the voice, right?
Yeah, oh God, I wish you didn't tell me that. And what makes this more even special, this is the last NWA produced Clash of the Champions. The next one will be the very first WCW one, which ain't making it any better. So we had Jim Ross and Paulie Dangerously doing the commentary on this one. This one didn't draw bad. It drew a 4.2 rating on TBS. The next one's going to take a kind of a hit, but this one did pretty well considering 5,000 on hand in Jacksonville, Florida. Here we go. Opening match was supposed to be a six-man tag team match, but the Fabulous Freebirds decided to take credit for El Gigante not being there that night. We find out later on that supposedly they and I'm not buying that you did this to a 7'5" guy or whatever he is, that you boxed him up and sent him back to Argentina.
Apparently they threw him a beat and
yeah, I want to see that in the ring. Sorry, but that'll hold truth or not later on when the Freebirds get interviewed. So this wound up just being a straight up tag team match: the Southern Boys against the Fabulous Freebirds. This one kind of lost a little of its luster from the previous matches, considering that they had Little Richard Marley at ringside now, which was kind of annoying with the Freebirds. And of course, he gets involved in this match, tripping up Tracy Smothers, and then Michael Hayes with the DDT and the pin, and that's how the Freebirds get the victory over the Southern Boys. So I never liked when they added, once Gordy left and it was just the two Freebirds, should just left it alone. Not get yourself a little roadie on the side, and then eventually you're going to whoop his ass. So following that, Tony Schiavone had interviewed Sting. During the interview, we get the infamous the voice of the Black Scorpion was heard. Oh, this is like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Black Scorpion.
And of course, you know, it's well documented on the pay-per-views we've done, especially the Halloween Havoc that year, of the ridiculous magic that they were using, especially when he had to hold up the tarp to do his disappearing act. Wouldn't get any better over the next couple of clashes. Yes, we're going to see more ridiculous black magic leading up to, and none of these guys looking like Ric Flair.
Right. That's the thing. And then when you look at it, when you look at the fact that it was Flair, it makes even less sense.
Exactly. Especially when Flair's now a babyface. He's in a program with Doom.
He's not a magician either.
No, he's not far from it. I don't know, man. Next match on the card, Flying Brian Pillman versus Buddy Landel. Oh, Lord. This one was, I'll say okay, and I'm being generous. Landel going for a superplex on Pillman. He fought out of it. Pillman would then give him a crossbody drop off the top rope on Landel, and that's how he gets the pin. And Brian Pillman gets the victory over him. Now, thank God, they do have the top 10 ranking in this clash, and in the last one, Buddy Landel was in the top 10. Thank God they decided to move him out. So, but Brian Pillman is on a roll here, and I mean he's just on fire. And at this point, they never really pushed him to the spot he could be in, and they just lost a golden opportunity in 1990 with him. So, following that, the next match on the card was Brad Armstrong versus the Big Cat. And this wouldn't be the first time tonight we'll see the Big Cat. We're going to see him multiple times on the evening. And it's well documented. There's no denying that he has an issue. He wants Lex Luger, even to the point where he puts Brad Armstrong in the torture rack. To get the submission, and Big Cat wins in short fashion. It was like a 4.5 minute match, if that. A lot of short matches tonight, which is like, why are you doing this?
They were rushing through stuff. Yeah.
This didn't make any sense, and a lot of these guys probably really didn't, belong on the Clash. But it is what it is. So following that, the comments from Dick the Bruiser, who would be the special guest referee in the Sting Black Scorpion match at Starrcade. Man, if he can make more sense of it of us, more power to you, brother. Next match on the card, we've got Z-Man versus Brian Lee, or Fake Undertaker, or whatever you want to call him. And
And
this match was no.
nobody
I
cared.
I know I could between these next two clashes, the fans kind of
Yes.
voiced their
Displeasure?
exactly, and were booing a whole lot, and just they just were not into it like they were in the past, unfortunately. And of course, Z-Man with a missile drop kick on Brian Lee, and that's how he gets the pin. I mean, okay, Z-Man gets the victory. He's still on fire as he's come in, and another guy they just don't do anything with. So following that now, Tony interviewed Michael Wall Street and Alexander York of the York Foundation. Says the computer
The
printout
computer,
is a
yeah.
win. Wow, that was. I think the York Foundation was the biggest stinkfest of
Yes.
1990, especially when Robert Gibson was injured from the Midnight Rock and Roll Express. So what do you decide to do? You turn the one guy that should never have been heel ever in his career, Ricky Morton. That right there to me was like the worst thing they could have ever
Yeah.
done. And of course, we'll find out the next member of the York Foundation in the next Clash of Champions. But the computer printout is
No.
the key. Sure, it is. She looked like she had just a little fax machine there. It didn't even look like it
Yeah.
was
I
plugged
don't
in.
know. It's bad. It's not. It's not good.
No, it's not. Next match on the card, we've got the Star Blazer, which is Jim Horner, by the way. Which I'm going to say this now. Tim Horner is in the top 10. I forget when I get to it. I'll just look at it now because since I may have brought it up. He is in the top 10 as far as hold on one second. Okay, as far as tag team goes, as Tim Horner. So what is the Star Blazer garbage doing here? This is 1990. Are they trying to, is this the alter ego of the Blue Blazer that they're doing here? I have no idea. But the Star Blazer is facing Michael Wall Street, who legally, by the way, said he changed his name from Rotunda to Wall Street.
Right. Yeah.
So,
They didn't want. He want to be called Rotunda.
Rotunda. And of course, Wall Street hits the Wall Street Crash. Very interesting name there, mind you. And gets the pin on Star Blazer, Stargazer. Tim Horner. God damn, that's who's under the mask. Michael Wall Street gets the victory. Congratulations to him.
It's great. It's great.
You had a hard fought match. The next thing now, Gordy Soley had brought up the top 10 in singles and tag team, and I did like when they did this, and
Yeah, it was cool.
I still believe I believe AEW may do it,
Oh.
or they used to, not sure, but it's something I always thought the WWE should do just for the hell of it.
Yeah, they
I
should.
mean, we kind of know who's in the top 10, but it would just be nice to see. Now, as far as tag team goes, starting from 10 up, and half of these I never even seen these guys team together. At number 10, you got Norman and the Juicer. Okay. Number 9, Big Cat, Motor City Madman. And you need some tag teams, guys. Number 8, Tim Horner and the Candyman. We got Juicer and Candyman. What y'all trying to tell us? What is this? 7, you got the Master Blasters. Number 6,
they're moving up the ranks.
Yeah, watch out now. Number 6, you got the Southern Boys. Number 5, Ricky Morton and Wildfire Tommy Rich. Number 4, the Fabulous Freebirds. At number 3, the Nasty Boys. Number 2, Flair and Anderson. And number 1, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Steiner Brothers. And, of course, on top is Doom. Now, the singles top 10 is number 10 is Beautiful Bobby Eaton. Number 9, Z-Man. 8, Michael Wall Street. 7, Brian Pillman. 6, Terry Taylor. 5, the television champion, Arn Anderson. Number 4, Ric Flair. 3, Lex Luger. At number 2, Sid Vicious. And at number 1, the U.S. champion, Stan the Lariat Hansen. Yeah. I bet he's happy now. He went from 6 to 1.
It just shows you how much the TV championship means because he's number 5.
Yeah. And Flair's better rankings in the tag team division at this point than it is in singles competition. And, of course, on top of it all, you got the WCW champion Sting, or NWA at this point, I guess. And then, of course, following that, they did a video for the Pat O'Connor Tag Team Memorial Tournament. They did announce that the The number one seed would be the Steiner brothers from the U.S., and number two would be Japan and Mr. Saito and the Great Muta. Because our next match on the card is a Pat O'Connor Memorial qualifying match. It's the African qualifying match. The Beast and Kalua versus Sergeant Kruger and Colonel DeClerc. And I love Paulie Dangerously is just making it out like he knows so much about these guys.
Doing a good job. Paulie was funny though, man.
Paulie, oh my god. Now, during this match, this is where I think the fans didn't show really any appreciation. Maybe towards the end when they thought it was finally going to win, there was going to be a victor. DeClerc botched the backflip on the front top rope, as he hit Beast on the way down. Of course, they tried it again, and this time he made it, but the first time he messed it up. Beast had DeClerc ready for a power slam, but Kruger drop kicked Beast, and DeClerc got the pin. This is when the ref was distracted. So Kruger and DeClerc are going on into the tournament at Starrcade. And, I mean, you just got to look at the bracket before you watch Starrcade and go, gee, I wonder who's going to win or who it's going to come down to. It was a good idea, but if they would have went into their own internal roster to look for the different various countries that they could have done, it might have been a little better. Yeah. So following that awesome match, they had a video package on the feud between Lex Luger and Stan Hansen, which actually wasn't bad. I did like the whole build up to it. Hansen gets pissed off. He attacks Luger, goes to Havoc, wins the title. And, of course, they've got a rematch coming up for it. And then, of course, Tony interviewed Lex Luger about it. This was interesting because the interview was interrupted by Big Cat. And, of course, they went at it.
Not giving up, man.
No, Big Cat's actually trying to make a name for himself. Mm-hmm. Can't say I blame him, but, change your name, you might be a little better. Now, the next match on the card after they broke that up was Lex Luger versus the Motor City Madman. Mm-hmm. Now, this didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, having him even fight this match. But as Luger was coming down the aisle, Big Cat's not taking no for an answer. He comes down, and once again, they went at it. And, of course, this was another short match. Luger trying to show his dominance, which he really doesn't have to, because we already know he has it. Just with a regular clothesline and a pin, and he beats the Motor City Madman 1, 2, 3.
See, yo.
So after that, now Tony Schiavone had interviewed Nick Patrick, who's talking about how the Steiners and the Nasties show no respect for the referees. It's funny because up to this point, we have not seen any type of match or anything with these two teams. And so Nick Patrick's like, something's got to be done. Fines, suspensions, terminations. I'm like, dude, just relax. Next match on the card, and they got the winner wrong here, and I'll explain it in a minute. It was the Renegade Warriors versus the Nasty Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during the match itself, the Steiner brothers had come down and attacked the Nasty Boys. The Renegade Warriors won by disqualification, but they messed up because it should have been the other way around. If the Steiners attacked the Nasty Boys, the Nasties were the ones that's supposed to get the victory by disqualification. But it goes down in the record books as the Renegade Warriors getting the victory over them. There's a huge botch right there. So, but the Renegade Warriors get a victory, so good luck for them. But the match itself really wasn't bad. The Renegade Warriors kind of showed some gumption in there against the Nasties. It wasn't a bad match, but what kind of did save it was the fact that the Steiners came down. So, following that, the next thing on the card was Sid Vicious versus the Night Stalker. By the way, the Night Stalker, Adam Bomb, or Brian Clark, however you want to call him. Plus, there's also movies called The Night Stalker as well.
Yeah.
And we've got serial killers doing the same thing.
That guy from California, was he the Night Stalker?
Yes.
Am I confused? Yeah.
I think, yeah. Not too long ago, because they have it on Netflix. I saw it. But in this case, you can call him Brian Clark, Adam Bomb, or Wrath, whatever you want to call him. And this didn't take long. I mean, seriously, did not take long. And also, during this match, Big Cat came down. I mean, he's just going after everybody tonight. Sid nailed him as he was trying to come in. This is another one that doesn't make any sense. Night Stalker comes down with this
Hmm.
medieval looking axe.
Yeah, and they're like trying to like hype him up, like, oh, he's just as big as Sid, and you know,
Okay. Sid hits him with that toy. The referee sees it, doesn't disqualify him.
he's Sid, man.
He
You don't want to piss Sid off, so
he hits him with it, and that's the 1, 2, 3
well, that's
pin.
it. See, yo.
After the match, Sid and Big Cat went at it once again, and then this time the Night Stalker got involved on it, attacking Sid. You think there's a nice still storyline going here? There isn't. This is like one and done, unfortunately. After that, fun and entertaining skit by Sid Vicious and all of them. Tony then interviewed the Fabulous Freebirds. You know, this is where they said they boxed up El Gigante
Hmm.
and they sent them packing. Southern Boys came out, and who was with them? Big man himself, El Gigante.
He's fine.
Oh yeah,
They didn't make it to Argentina.
no, they didn't. I don't believe they even boxed him up. They couldn't. I don't. I think he could win a 1-on-2 handicap match between them. So there goes El Gigante showing up. Never mentioned exactly what happened to him because
Yeah, what
again, in
happened?
the beginning they said they injured him, and now they're
Right, they
saying they
thought
boxed him up and
you
shipped him.
figured they threw him a beating, and then they're saying that they shipped him off to Argentina, and then he comes back, and it's like, what happened?
And they just go from a 6-man tag team to a regular tag
Right,
team
right, right,
match,
right.
and it didn't make any sense.
You would have figured
Well,
he would have came out like maybe bandaged up or something, and then he would have like tried to destroy them.
mhm.
But it was almost like he's just like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm here." Right? Is it me or was that like?
Yeah, it's just oh yeah, I showed up. Well, but they really take it to heart when they say cards subject to change.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was running later. So I don't know. Who knows?
Probably was. He was pulling a Billy
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah.
So, next match on the card, we've got the Steiner brothers versus Magnum Force. Jeff Warner and Tim Hunt of the tag team of Magnum Force. This didn't take long either. Um, Scotty with the Frankensteiner and the pin. Real quick match. And then afterwards, the Nasty Boys came out and attacked the Steiners. And of course, they got their butt whips and they tucked their tails the second time between their legs and ran off. So, this is going to be a grudge match coming up in the future between them. And of course, we had Tony Schiavone then interview Ric Flair and Arn Anderson about the main event tonight. If the Four Horsemen win, not only do they get a tag title shot at Starrcade, but this is also Yacht versus Chauffeur. If Teddy Long's one of his members of Doom wins the match, he gets the 65-foot yacht. If Ric Flair or Arn Anderson won, then Teddy Long had to be their chauffeur for a day. This is ridiculous. So being that as it is, they also showed the video package for Sting and Black Scorpion feud, what was going
Oh,
on.
Jesus Christ.
And then, of course, Paulie interviewing Sting.
Yep.
And this is where the Black Scorpion comes out and grabs a fan and starts doing magic tricks. Oh, look, I can wrench their neck. I can turn them into a tiger. What the? Sting, who do you know from back in '86 that's
That was a
doing parlor
magician.
tricks?
Right, right. That was
Yeah,
a magician.
working the Venice Beach boardwalk or
Oh
something.
God. Was there somebody that was his gimmick in WWF that was a magician? That's
I
like
wouldn't
a
be
vague.
surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised back in the '80s. Look, abracadabra! Look, I stole your title.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
Jesus. Anyway.
and then, of course, the video package for the feud between Doom, Flair, and
Mhm.
Anderson. Now, they did have the coin toss before the main event. It would be Ric Flair versus the Natural Butch Reed, and this match actually didn't disappoint. I actually enjoyed.
No, it
this
was a good
one.
match.
Between the two guys. It really was. I did especially like the Butch Reed had applied the figure four leg lock on
Hmm.
Flair, but Flair was able to get to the ropes and the hold was broke. Flair back body dropped Reed to the outside and the ref was down. This is where it really gets interesting. Anderson comes into the ring, hits Reed with the chair, then grabbed the ref and threw him into the ring. Flair gets the victory. Teddy Long's got to be the chauffeur for the Four Horsemen, and Flair and Anderson are going to Starrcade for the tag team titles. Well, spoiler, that's not the only thing Flair's going to Starrcade for. So, but for this clash, I'm going to say it was bad
Yeah, it wasn't good.
with a decent main event.
Yeah, the main event was good, but outside of that, it was.
It was a lot of matches that were just nah.
Yeah, this is a couple days before Thanksgiving, right? Because I think it was on a Tuesday. I think
Yeah, this was November 20th, 1990.
well, it was right before.
And they were setting up Starrcade, which I
Survivor.
believe was in November.
Then you got Survivor Series on the WWF side at the time. So
Yeah, Eggman.
that's right.
The Golly Gooker
Debut
and
of
the
the
debut of the
Undertaker.
Undertaker. Yep.
Yeah. So this didn't come
This
anywhere.
No.
Yeah. So,
I gotta say it now.
yeah. All right. Well, that's our review. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care.